Okay, so if you're looking for a job in tech, then you need to be aware of this scam that's going on at the moment. And it's not like your regular scam where you get scammed out of your money or that type of thing, but it can be very frustrating and very annoying, this type of scam. And I feel like I might have been a victim of it myself. And, you know, right now, looking for a job in tech, tech is probably the hottest, industry right now. And because of that, just like anything else, when something is trending and it's the hottest thing on the market, that's when the fraudsters and scammers come out and, they look to take advantage of you. It's a bit like crypto at the moment where anytime crypto is doing well, the fraudsters and scammers just come out of nowhere. You start getting all these funny text messages and so on, and it's a bit like that. So I just wanted to bring this scam to you guys' attention so that you can be aware and it doesn't happen to you, because I feel like I might have been a victim of this scam myself. The reason why this scam is very annoying is because right now to get a job in tech is very challenging. It's probably one of the most difficult things that you ever have to do in your life when you're trying, especially when you're transitioning from a completely different industry into the tech industry. Is very, very difficult because you have to jump through all these hoops. You have to, for myself in particular, when I was looking to get my first job as a data analyst, I had to jump through so many hoops. I dropped my standards so low because I just wanted to get my foot in the door. And it was very difficult. I remember one job in particular that I was applying for, the hoops I had to jump through. I had to, of course, apply for the job. After doing that, I got an informal phone call just to see if I'm the right fit for the job. And then yeah, I passed that. After that stage, then it was a sort of take home assessment stage where they gave me an Excel assessment, and I had to do that at home. I did that. It was very for me anyway. It wasn't that hard or whatever, but it was very time consuming because remember, I'm balancing working full time and doing a lot of extra hours at work at the time, and being a family man at the time. My wife was pregnant as well, and so much going on. And yeah, after passing the assessment, then I went on to the interview stage. I passed the interview as well. After passing the interview, I thought, oh, like okay, that like this might be it. They're like, no, you still have to do another assessment. I had to do another SQL assessment, which was more of it's kind of like a face to face, but on Teams, because the person that was doing the interview, basically, I'll be working for um, the company's branch in America, but from here type of thing. And so yeah, the person that I'll be working for in America was the one that was assessing me. So I had to do like a proper like typing code in on Word type of thing, and it's quite challenging. I didn't pass that stage unfortunately, and that's where I fell short. So I went through all those stages and didn't get the job, and I've had a few interviews like that. So it's very difficult. Don't forget, you have to be studying, you have to be prepping, balancing work. It's a lot to go through just to get your foot in the door, and a lot of time, it doesn't really go anywhere. And now this scam in particular, I actually saw a video on Instagram where this guy was talking about his experience with a job situation, and it really resonated with me because I felt like a lot of the things he was saying kind of reminded me of my own experience. So this is what essentially happened in the video. So basically, the guy had applied for a job, and when he applied for the job, he got through to the next stage or whatever, which was an assessment stage where he had to do like a presentation. So he spent all this time preparing his presentation, and then when he gave his presentation, the interviewer, really liked his presentation and obviously went to the next stage. And when he went to the next stage, um, the interviewer asked the guy to send over his presentation, and that's something that they do a lot of the assessments that I had to do. I had to send over my presentation to um, the company that I'm applying for. So yeah, he did that naively or innocently. So the interviewer asked him to sort of talk through his presentation. So he went through all of that. She asked for it to be recorded, whatnot, and he did everything. And then after that, the interviewer just ghosted him. She just ghosted him. Like, he looked everywhere to find this person. Nothing. He couldn't find nothing on the person. The person just gone. Couldn't find her on LinkedIn. Anything. The person just disappeared. And basically what had happened was the it seems like the interviewer or the person that conducted the interview might have a project to work on that, she might not have had the time or wasn't capable of doing that the assignment. So she went all the way to set up an interview. Yeah, she would. That's how far people are willing to go nowadays. She set up an interview, got someone else to do the work for her, and then she just took that work and just run. Yeah, that's how far people are willing to go. She just took that work and just ran off. And I got a video of the guy describing what happened, and I'll include it in this particular video.
It's a story about how I got played during the interview.
Oh, tell that.
For this at-home interview, I'm full suit. I ain't just put on the top. Like,
You
I'm
put the
full
bottoms
bottoms on too. Whole suit. Went through the initial interview. She was like, I feel confident about you. I'd love to move you to the next phase. Next phase, as usual, project with a presentation, whatever.
Yeah.
No one is there but her. She's the only one there. She made an excuse why no one else can make it, time conflicting, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just her. So as soon as I started, though, she's like, do you mind if I record this? She pushes record. I go through the whole presentation, slide deck, notes, the whole shebang. And she goes, hey, just to follow up, she was like, I was able to share your presentation with some of the others, whatever. They were really into it. They were like, they wanted to know if you wouldn't mind sharing that presentation deck that she went through. And bruh, after I emailed her that presentation,
She ghosted
me. Slim ghosted me, bruh. I emailed her like, hey, just want to check in on to see if this opportunity is still available. Haven't heard from you. This email cannot be delivered to whatever.
No.
I get on the internet, job position gone,
Wow.
job posting gone. She put up the job posting to basically find somebody to do her job. I did her job for her without knowing that I was doing her job because I thought I was going through an interview. She took my presentation. She took my video so that she could regurgitate my presentation proposal and disappear.
But with my own experience as well. So basically, what happened with me was, I was just minding my business. I was in the job market, and I got a recruiter reached out to me about my suitability for a role that they have vacant, and I said, yeah, okay, send me the details. So he sent me over the details. I sent my CV, cover letter, and all of that stuff, and then I didn't hear back from him. And then I chased him up. I was like, oh yeah, we're still interested. And then, he basically arranged an interview for me. And just before the interview, he reached out to me like, oh, you need to do this assessment as well, where I had to conduct a presentation. And it was a very time-consuming and challenging presentation. But, at that time as well, because I worked shift work prior to transitioning into tech. I work as a data analyst, by the way. I forgot to mention it now. At the time, I was on a very horrible shift pattern where I was finishing really late in the night all the time. I was finishing at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., and all sorts. And then, you get home about 3 a.m., and then you have to spend like the little time you have to prepare for your the assessment or whatnot. And I remember that one in particular, it took a lot out of me because I was on a very horrible shift pattern, and I still done the presentation. And I remember even for the interview, the interview was a very horrible time because that day I finished work at like 2 something a.m., got home about 3, slept about 4, and then I had the interview at 10 a.m. in the morning. I remember my eyes were bloodshot when I went for the interview, but I was tired. And to be honest, I felt the interview went quite well. And prior to the interview, I had to also send over my presentation as well, which was very detailed as well. And after the interview, I didn't hear back from them at all. And I know it's a common thing with people being ghosted and that kind of thing, but it's just, it just felt horrible. I dedicated all this time, to making this presentation. I was tired, still kept on going, jumping through all these hoops, and they just ghosted me. I tried to reach out to the recruiter that put me through. When I was applying for the job on LinkedIn, he would answer, but as soon as after the interview, when I message him like, oh, what happened with the thing? Nothing. And then I thought, okay, fine, let me try and reach out to the actual company that I applied for. I reached out to the company, and the person that, the people that conducted the interview, they also nothing as well. And I looked up the company. I think it was a reputable company as well. So yeah, it's like a serious thing that's going on at the moment where, it's very frustrating that you spend so much time trying to get an opportunity, and people are out there just taking advantage of you. And it's something that I think we need to speak more about. And so, like, what's the solution to this? So, I have here a few possible solutions, and for people that are applying for jobs in tech, so that this sort of thing does not happen to them. People stealing your time and just leaving you to hang dry. Um, I recommend, before, this is something you should be doing anyway, but, before you apply to any job or, go out for any assessment or wherever, just make sure you really research the company and make sure it's actually a proper company, that, they're not there to just take advantage of people. See what people are saying about the company on places like LinkedIn, Glassdoor, where people leave reviews about a company, and the interview process. Just do a proper thorough research, because you could be wasting your time if you're not careful. Because people, they know tech is the hottest thing right now, and people want a job in that industry. So there's people out there just taking advantage of people and wasting their time. And which is, I think is quite wrong, if I'm honest with you. And also, I feel like you should also research the person that will be conducting the interview. Are they like a proper person? Do they actually work for the company? Look them up on LinkedIn or something. Try and find something, some sort of information about the person that's conducting the interview. Also, when you're doing a presentation, just make sure that the presentation is not too detailed. Don't have it too word for word. Just have some very short bullet points, and then try and elaborate on it, when you're actually doing the presentation. So maybe you can have the presentation and have your notes with you to read off your notes rather than the actual presentation, because a lot of times they will ask you to send over your presentation, and once you send it off and you've done all the work, they're just going to take it and then present it to their bosses or whatnot, and it's very annoying. So make sure like you don't make it too detailed. Another way to get around that is also, you can put like watermarks on the presentation, and then have some encrypted password thingy on the slide, so that they have to ask for permission before they can actually open the slides or whatnot. And, it's very, very important. And before I go on to the solutions, actually, like, that's another thing is, like, in this video that I'm talking about, in the comment section, and it seems like it happens to a lot of people. A lot of people are saying how this same sort of scam happened to them. It's not just the tech industry, it's any sort of industry where you have to make a presentation or do an assessment or whatever. People are there lurking to take advantage of you. It's happened to so many people. So I just thought I'll raise awareness as someone that recently kind of went through the process of transitioning careers, and I'll probably be doing that multiple times as well. So I need to be quite aware as well. So back to the solutions, and also, if it's possible, try not to share your slides, because a lot of times they do ask to share your slides, and yeah, I don't know, sometimes it can be difficult when you're looking for opportunities or wherever, but try not to share your slides. That's one of the solutions that a lot of people were recommended in the comments. Some people say they never share their slide deck. That's possibly another solution as well. And lastly, I'll say maybe try and record the interview as well. So ask the permission, or do you mind if I record this interview, so that I can look it back to to help me to grow, for feedback, that sort of thing. And I think a lot of times they'll be inclined to do that. And if something happens and it goes wrong, you have at least a video or a picture of the person. Because in the example that I gave, with that person, when he didn't have no picture or anything about the person. The person just deleted everything and just disappeared off the face of the earth. So at least when you record it, you have video footage of the actual person that you're looking for, and maybe you can put them on blast on LinkedIn for what they've done. So yeah, that's the scam that's going on at the moment. It's not like a financial scam or whatever, but it's still incredibly frustrating, because we just don't have the time. And there are people out there seriously just taking advantage of people, and I think it's personally wrong. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did find some value in this video, then make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I will be posting more videos about my journey as a data analyst, so subscribe or follow for more.